What's up, y'all? I am in Japan. I came here to study ceramics, mostly as a gift to the younger versions of myself who craved desperately to be loved and seen in my becoming. Back home, I struggled to slow down and to create in a way that truly can hold the pain and the joy in my heart. So I flew across the world hoping to connect with something that I couldn't really name until now. And even as I say this, it sounds absolutely ridiculous because of how many people cannot leave their homelands, people displaced, oppressed, and surviving a genocide. I'm able to travel freely, pending money of course, but this privilege of mobility is not lost on me. It's the reason I feel the need to share these thoughts with you now. I've cried a lot on this trip, not out of sadness exactly, but because when you open your heart, life and art and truth can overwhelm you. And when you step outside of your world, all the things that you have been avoiding seem to bubble up to the surface. It feels absurd sometimes to just sit with clay and talk about craft and creativity while there are children being attacked in Gaza, while families are being torn apart by ICE raids in my hometown. And yet these are the people under the heaviest weight of oppression who still manage to continue. Somehow they manage to find ways to persist in joy. So I must too. And I think that is what art is all about. Telling the truth even when it is unbearable. Allowing ourselves time to become so that we may one day do something meaningful. I don't really think that my art will free Palestine or stop the terrors enacted onto innocent children around the world, but in a world of polarities, what else can I do? We must persist. We must resist. We must live out loud as a form of resistance if we believe in the power of the people. And we must not let our hearts fall asleep. Because in the end, we need each other to survive, to create peace, to fight bitterness with love, unconditional love. The kind of love that would sail to the ends of the earth if it meant we could move one step closer to a world where people matter more than profits. Where no one is illegal, where none of us are made to feel out of place. Because the truth is, we really don't know why we are here. We just know that we are, and that we need each other to survive. So what is art? People love to ask this question. What is art? To me, art is expression. It's life, it's survival, it's political. Art is shaping something fragile and temporary like our hearts or this clay into something that will hopefully live forever. And I think that's why I'm here. Art has never been about profit for me. It's about speaking without words. It's about energy, time, and care. About having a conversation with something larger than myself. About telling a story where words fail me. Visiting a place where I don't speak the language is very humbling and somehow also liberating. Every small thing from ordering food to asking for directions becomes an act of charades. I am relying on gestures and smiles and the look in someone's eyes to tell me if we've understood each other, if my message or theirs was received. And in these moments, I also become more aware of how I am perceived, not just as myself, but as someone from somewhere else. It makes me wonder how much of who we are is shaped by the land that we come from, by how we are perceived by the, quote, other, and how much is simply the energy that we carry. How much of it is our hearts that speak for us without words? Pottery is a universal art that does not need language. It's here in Japan, it's back home, it's everywhere. It starts beneath our feet, carried by the rivers and formed by the mountains. Clay is the earth itself. And when we shape it, we're not only shaping the ground that we all share, we are shaping ourselves, leaving our imprint in a material that is unlike anything else on this planet. What has always amazed me about clay is how it holds a story. All over this planet, clay persists. For ceremony, for survival, for expression, and sometimes for remembering loved lost ones. The vessels tell us what was needed, what was valued, and what was dreamed of by the people who existed there. And what's even more powerful is how pottery endures throughout time. There are fragments of clay still carrying the fingerprints of artists long gone. Pots that have lived longer than any human today and will surely outlive all of us. Pots that have been crushed back into sand and returned to the earth. Something that will happen to me too someday. This brings me a lot of comfort, knowing that there is an element that can survive through fire, time, and pressure. One day, future generations of people may find my art and ask the same questions I'm asking now. Why and how? But more directly, what even is this? I like the thought of that. Clay is an art form, yes, but it is also resistance. It is history fired into permanence. It is memory holding what we've known and what we are still learning. And I think that that's true of people too. When we travel, we carry our elements with us, our histories, our struggles, our joys, and our stories. In some ways, we are just soft, malleable clay until we are put under pressure. We are always being reshaped by our stories and our connections. And if we are pushed too far, too fast, we can fold or crack under this pressure. In this way, clay asks us to slow down, to center ourselves in the moment. And I think love and connection asks the same of us. To stay open, to stay patient, to let the shaping happen in its own time if you are still enough to wait, if you are quiet enough to be present with what is in front of you. When you strip away easy verbal communication, what remains is presence. You inevitably listen differently. You notice the way someone's eyes light up when they are happy or how their face crinkles when they eat something sour. You become more aware of the tones, the pauses, and the ways others show emotion and expression. And it makes me think that maybe connection isn't really about language at all. Maybe it's all about attention, about care, about meeting someone where they are. And once the fire of our lives has done its work, what remains is more than just a life or an object. It's a record of time, of hands, of the care put into these moments. I cannot edit a piece of pottery once it has been cooked. It will be what I made it to be. It's not about control at all, it's about respect. It's about remembering that this whole language thing is just a portion of what makes us human, and that we are meant to guide, to learn, not to force it to become. So here I am in Japan, surrounded by the most breathtaking pottery I have ever seen in my life. Totally alone and out of my element, and somehow able to connect still. Through clay, through the earth that we share. Clay that has been passed through human hands for thousands of years across borders and eras. Clay that holds memory, fire, and heart. Clay that has been recycled by the people and the land since the start of time, whenever that was. And I think that that is the point I'm trying to make here. No matter where we come from, no matter how we are perceived or how we feel, we share this earth. We share this material. We share this desire to shape something lasting with our hands and with our hearts. Pottery is both art and remembrance. A way of saying, we were here. We created, we cared, and we loved each other. And in that way, we are really not so different after all. Different flavors, different clay bodies, expressed and cooked and formed under different pressures. And I think that we all hope that someone one day will pick us up and say, wow, I love this one. I want to cherish it forever. Hope y'all have the best day. Peace.